GM Rachel. So Rachel Wilkins is here with me today. She is going to be filling in for Adrian. How are you doing this morning?
GM, ready as I'll ever be. My cat was drinking out of my coffee cup a few minutes ago. It's that kind of day, but we're here.
Well, hey, there we go. So we are going to throw our intro on. We'll be back in 40 seconds. Very excited to share some news. We're going to share that right up top in just a moment. So we'll see you in 40 seconds. Welcome to GM Farcaster, bringing you everything from breaking news to spicy memes to the deep lore shaping this vibrant digital community. More than just a show, GM Farcaster is your digital third space where the community connects, the stories unfold, and the culture thrives. Whether you're a daily caster or just dropping by, we've got the latest buzz to keep you plugged in. So grab your coffee and let's dive in with your hosts, Nanish Prof and Adrian, for another episode of GM Farcaster. GM Farcaster. It is Wednesday, April 2nd, and you are here with Nanish Prof and Rachel Wilkins for 29 minutes of Farcaster news-ish to start your day. Rachel, by the way, you have to keep an eye on the comments because sometimes when I'm sharing my screen, I can't see them. So keep an eye on those people.
Got it.
Okay. You know.
Join the chat. Oh, I can actually join the. I have to connect my YouTube to join the chat.
Oh, do you? Oh, because you're not an admin in here. Oh, shoot.
Hi, Cat. GM.
GM to everybody. Yeah, you know what? And I forgot. You can share the stream with your stuff if you want to. So you can share it to Twitter, you can share it to YouTube, wherever. So we are live on Twitter as well. Give us a little retweet if you wouldn't mind. Look for me live in your feed. And I'm going to start with some news. We have some news to share that I want to start with, and I need to do a little adjustment here. But first, we're going to show you that we have a new partner I'm very, very excited about. And it is Octant. And we are super excited to welcome Octant to our premier partnership. So welcome, Octant. Octant is a grant-making body, and they have some exciting things that are happening right now. And I want to share a couple things with you and tell you some of the partnerships that we're doing with them. So they're launching something called Degens and Dragons. If you're not familiar with Octant, they do good, do well. We staked 100,000 ETH to empower public goods projects in our community, planning big things in the Octant channel. So what they take the yield from the staking that they've done with this very large amount of funds, and they use that to support public goods and folks who are building within the Ethereum ecosystem. So very exciting. And they launched, isn't that cool? Yeah, awesome. They're awesome. And honestly, like just really nice humans. VP Abundance, he goes by VP Abundance, James. I served on a panel with him last December, a Gitcoin panel, and it was so fun. It was great to meet him, and saw him at Pizza DAO this December and was like, we should connect. Let's do some things. And they mentioned they had some things coming up. So we're very excited to support them and to thank them for supporting us. So this just went live. Octant card game. They were giving out the physical cards at ETH Denver, and I didn't end up grabbing a pack. Unfortunately, I didn't learn about it till after. But they're dropping them as NFTs. It's going to be part of a game. Really, really cute. And if you go to either this card or the new one they just dropped today, they're dropping 3 a week. You can grab them here, and I have sponsored, GM Farcaster has sponsored some mints for this. So right now, if you go and grab them, there are 5 that are sponsored right now, so you'll get it for free. And there are 3 on the other one. So, and it looks like they have not been claimed yet, so you still have some time to grab those. I also have 3 more of this card that I will be dropping to 3 folks that are in our chat right now. So going to pick some random people later. So very excited. Super excited. I'm sad that Adrian's not here for the announcement, but oh well. That's what she gets for going skiing. Right? By the way,
congrats to you both, because I know how hard it is out there to get partners. So, and also a point that I talked to Adrian about last week at the event, like getting partners that actually align with your values and the mission of the show. Like we've all had money thrown at us from questionable characters that we've said no to.
Yep.
So congrats on finding somebody whose values aligned and willing to put money behind people who are building in the ecosystem. So.
Yeah. And that's what we look for is, folks that we feel connected with, that we feel like we want to share what they're doing anyway.
Yep.
It's something that just fits with what we're doing. And then we can bring more attention to what they're working on. They have a whole new grant platform that's going to be launching this summer. So that's what this is all in preparation of. And other organizations will be able to use it. So more on that as that releases. But first up is this little fun Degens and Dragons mint, which I'm just, I love games. I love things like this. I'm very excited. Also, just while we're talking, about opportunities to partner, we have a new media kit page. So mediakit.gmfarcaster.com. So if you are also interested in partnering with GM Farcaster, you can check out some stuff there. Adrian was vibe coding, and it came out pretty good. So
that is nice. I feel like you guys have been on the same trajectory as me in terms of like procrastinating the media kit.
Yeah, big time. Like so to a point that was ridiculous. Like ridiculous. Like why were we? Because we don't like media kits. I think that's what it was.
We're all allergic to it. We're all allergic to it.
Totally allergic to media kits.
Somebody needs to reframe the term sponsor deck or like media kit to something much more fun. Let's gamify sponsor decks.
Yeah. So that's why, like, finally, when it was like, okay, instead of a PowerPoint deck, like, let's go make a site and like go vibe code it. Vibe coding it sounded like more fun to Adrian than a slide deck.
So funny. It looks good.
Right?
Did you drop it in the chat?
Really good. I didn't drop it in the chat, but I did. No, because I'm really bad at those sorts of things. By the way, we're also quite horrible. I will drop it in the chat right now. Quite horrible at promoting ourselves. Very bad. So, thank you to those who help promote us because we're bad at it. So that is that. Go mint those now if you want to pick up the free mints that we've already sponsored. And also 3 of you in our chat are going to be getting some as well. All right. Now I have to shift gears to the news. Hold on one second.
Just a totally random person.
I'm a totally random person. You are not a totally random person. You are somebody we know well. All right. We got to start with this because this just cracked me up. So the Queen is in the house with us today. So, there she is on her throne. You looked away for a minute, didn't you?
I was like, oh, who is this?
Who is it? Oh, it's you. It's you.
Can I give you the truth about this picture?
Please do.
All right. So
I beg of you.
Yeah, I whip this out on very specific times when I'm having a really hard day. And I was having a really tough mental health day. But the funny thing, the thing that I always go back to with this picture, because it looks like I'm like 0 fucks given, but I was actually at a crypto event in LA. It was the first NFT LA. And I arrived and I was literally the only woman in the room.
Oh my God. So you were like, where's my throne? Please.
No, this was like it was in some like weird, like quirky little place. And this was in the little side room. So I was like, fuck it. Here we go. So there's a reason this gets whipped out. If you see it on the timeline, it's because
she said we're gonna now from now on, the messages when you post this are gonna be, I'm really sorry, you're having a bad day. And other people who have no idea will be like, oh, she looks fine. Yeah. Looks like she owns the place. What are you talking about?
Yeah, she's having a rough go.
She's having a rough day. Yeah. Oh my God, that's funny. Okay, another funny from the timeline. This was funny. Good. This is funny. From Robrack, 8 hours flight to FarCon NYC. Where are you sitting? And Adrian said, if you choose 5, get ready to be doxxed because we will be live streaming the entire flight. But this is, if you are listening, please go look at the video version so you'll understand. It's the traditional, where are you sitting on an airplane? Normally with like normal influencers, but today you get Farcaster influencers.
I feel like I still have work to do because I couldn't tell you who half these people are.
So I know all these people.
Time here, but of course I'm picking 5. Or I mean, I'd sit next to Ted and behind Jacek, but I don't know who the horse guy is yet. Who's the horse guy? He could kick my seat.
That's Horse Facts. Oh, no. Horse Facts right here.
Horse Facts kick your seat?
Horse Facts he would absolutely kick your seat. And he also is hilarious. So by the way, just being like overhearing Horse Facts talking to Balaji would be worth the seat. And you sitting next to Ted, you would have to tell Ted, shh, Ted, shh, quiet. We're eavesdropping. So that would be the only thing.
I would be in her seat though, because I think she'd be probably running around the plane.
Probably.
Maybe.
Probably.
So
this would be, I would say number 4 would be the most intellectually stimulating. That's July and that's Dan. So that would be the intellectual stimulation one. This area would make me nervous, but although it would be interesting to have Brian sitting next to V, that would be fascinating. But yeah, so if you sit between us, we're either playing poker or live streaming it or both. So there you go. One or the other. Just some fun. All right, on to the news. Introducing tips. So this happened like right after the show ended on Monday, which I hate it when they do that. Like, can you guys not do that right after the show? So introducing tips. This is from DWR. Once a week, we summarize the people on the network you interact with most. You can opt in to sending them a $1 USDC tip by tapping. We batch all the tips in a single transaction. Shout out to Woj.eth and Blockheim for the quick ship. And this is using the Disperse technology, which I love Disperse. I think it is just a brilliant little app, disperse.app. I use it all the time. I use it when I'm sending funds to like my students and things to my students. So I've used it a lot in the past month or so. When I'm sending Giblify to random people because I have too much of it, which I think I need to burn a bunch because I don't know what to do with it. Anyway, so this is really cool. And this is taking $1 USDC from your wallet. So just keep that in mind. We opted for, continuing from Dan, we opted for the once a week summary UX instead of a per cast tipping UX. Why? We want to reduce the analysis paralysis when browsing the feed. Is this worth a like or a tip? By summarizing weekly, you get a nice reminder of who you spent time socializing with on Farcaster, and easy enough to skip people you might have been arguing with. Which, honestly, I don't know. If you're arguing with them, maybe they made you think. Maybe you want to tip them. I don't know. I can think of a few people I've had some, I wouldn't even call them arguments. I would say heated discussions with that I would absolutely tip. So very cool. I really like this. Miguel would like it to be put there as well. I thought it was really fun. A lot of people going, why are people sending me money before they saw the cast? I was as well. I'm like, what is happening right now? I had trouble sending it at first. I tried to send it to 40 and I was like, maybe I did too much. I'm like, I posted Woj, I broke it. Sorry. Broke it. And he's like, fixing. What's that?
Is there a max cap on how many you can send?
I don't think so. But it was just something was wrong at that moment. So then the next time I only did 8 because I thought maybe that was the issue, but it wasn't. Okay. So I'm sorry to those who missed out. I apologize, but I was about to do a whole bunch more.
This is cool. I'm interested to observe how the behavior changes when it is actually coming out of your wallet versus an assigned allowance from a coin
someone else.
You can't really, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And how the reciprocity is going to work. Like, if people are going to get feel, I don't know, some sort of way if they tip somebody and don't get tipped back, or like how's that?
Yeah, there's a lot of, and then there was a lot of conversation about that. And this is funny from Pugs, a new attack vector to make you like me. So there's that. But also, like, there was people talking about, I'm not going to tip back if you've already tipped me, because then I feel like I'm only tipping you because you tipped me, but also I was going to tip you, but then you tipped me first. So now I can't. And it was like really funny. And we always have, like, when these things launch first, it's always a little like finding your sea legs sort of thing. So I'm sure that you're right, though. It'll probably change some behaviors a little bit. But I think it's cool. I love it. It also gives brands an opportunity to do some things.
Yeah.
It's another opportunity for DAOs or something like that to find ways to reward those who are, casting their stuff. So lots of different ways to use this.
Nice.
This was from Woj. Tipping Monday is over. We had 5,292 successful tips yesterday.
Wow.
That's a lot of tips.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing and having fun together. What should we add or change for the next one? So there you go. If you have any suggestions, pop them in this cast. He did say mostly mobile. So what was the biggest learning or takeaway from you? And Woj did say tech, mostly mobile dev stuff, Android quirks, and releasing new experience via OTA feature flag. Social simplicity really wins. So there you go.
I wonder if you'll see any activity from coin or token creators tying to tips like we've seen with the Stimmy.
Yeah.
That could be interesting.
That could be interesting as well. I expect that one of the suggestions is probably, can we tip other tokens? And there it is. Can we tip other tokens? We're looking into it. So yeah, so I'm sure we'll see more of that happening. The continuing joke, by the way, wait, more than 37. The joke is that there's only 37 people here on Farcaster. So
whoever's handling the Farcaster Twitter account now has really gotten good at that joke.
I think there's a couple. There's a couple people handling it. Traditionally, until a couple months ago, it was only Dan. It's now Dan and Ted, I believe. Yeah.
It's forever. It's been more personality.
Yeah, it's Dan and Ted now. So you see a little bit of both. But Dan's kind of funny. So B is actually funnier. Varun is actually funnier, but he's a little tamer. But also both funny. Speaking of horse facts, one of the fastest ways to dock yourself as a crypto plebe is to ask, why am I getting free money on Farcaster today? It is preordained on any given day. It needs no reasons. But it's Basil saying, why are my friends sending me $1 each?
So fun.
It was really funny. By the way, if you're not following Horse Facts, you really need to be. He is actually the funniest person on.
Maybe I just need to get to know Horse Facts better.
You get to know Horse Facts.
We have not had any interactions.
He's pretty funny. He's a funny guy. And speaking of free money, this is from Brad Q. The rewards leaderboard results for the week. I always like this little take here. Erica takes #1 for the first time and holds the Vibe Tribe Queen title. Afro Chick, self-professed Vibe Caster, takes #2 again. She has first, second, and third medals. I like that. She tends to. It is very difficult to stay in the top 10. I will say that. That's very hard. Hit it once, you have a viral week, especially if you're new. There's things you get a little boost, all those things, but staying there, super hard. So Naomi, well done. 6 takes #3. Bert Mamups takes #4 to pay for FarCon stickers. Love that. I want stickers from Bert. Garrett keeps his streak alive at #7, even though he claims it's going to end. Now we have a Vibe Tribe situation. SDs.E takes #8. That is our FarCon queen. And newly minted member Kate Cavill makes a late move to first top 10. But Keckers finishes #11, I think for the third time. And Samantha #12 almost makes the top 10. Muppet on Base takes #30, riding the GPT high, and Rob Hardy takes the coveted 69. I don't even know where I ended up, but I knew I wasn't
this time this week for the first time. So
you hit what?
I broke 200 this time.
Ooh,
which was a first.
Okay, it's what, moving into different tiers is tough too. That's another thing.
I kept checking back. I'm like, I don't want to just cast for the sake of casting or like reply. For the sake
I don't.
So I'm not going to do that. If I stay in the 200, great. If not, oh well.
I ended so I was #30. I think I was 30 or 29 last week. So I made it into that tier, and that's super hard. 41 this week. I was up and down. So not bad. I usually somewhere in that tier. It's like between, and then sometimes I'll try to hit 69, because if I know I'm not going to hit 30, I might as well try to,
Is there a prize
for the culture? No, there should be though.
There
should be that. Yes, exactly. Yeah. There should be.
We should
for the culture.
Tip number 69 every week.
69 and 420. Okay, Rob Hardy, I'm coming at you. That is what I'm going to do today. Yeah. I'm going to go give him a tip. And since we know who it is, it's hard I wish we could look back easier, but there's no way to look back at the full leaderboard. I don't think, or unless I'm probably doing dashboard or something complicated. And this from Brad Q, celebrating first time rewards winners in new tier, adding yourself or someone else so we can celebrate. First time, Rianne Cole, number 13, Chansey 10, Nova Ninja, Clayman, Seiki, Ki Kondu, Ailey, Dirty Kumquats, all in that $100 tier. New tier, Coin Empress, and oh my God, draw edit. So you said you were first time in that tier.
First time at 200. I thought it was. Maybe it wasn't.
Maybe it wasn't. We'll have to ask Brad. And thank you, Brad, for doing these summaries. They are super fun, super helpful, and we appreciate you. He's also been doing our 29 seconds of Farcaster news, which we love. This is a nice little chart. Warpcast monthly rewards payouts in USDC. Since they started doing this, they started experimenting with this in August, and it was a $5. Was it a day or weekly? I can't even remember. And then it's been heading up since then because it's working. You're getting more people to cast. People feel appreciated. I loved this from, I think this is Lucas. This week on Farcaster, I earned $5 from Warpcast rewards, $3 from tips, $7 from predicting on Ponder, $12 from airdrops, total $27. Earnings from Twitter over the past 7 years, 0. This is like a new priceless commercial.
Yeah, I mean, I did something similar a couple of weeks ago because, and also I'm paying for Twitter, so I also
you're losing. You're minus.
Net negative.
It's not looking pretty. No, net negative. And this was from Winnie. I get a minimum of 1 million impressions a month on Twitter and have never made a cent off the platform. And same kind of thing. Probably, if you think about it, probably paying for premium. Yep. So yes, the $25 notification here brings me joy, which I love that. Yep. You need sustained 5 million sustained impressions on X to get paid.
Yeah, I've never hit it. And I've been on, I've come close a couple of times, but you can't unlock earning potential until you've hit that. Even if you have one big, like I have one that had like 2 million impressions, even if you do something that on that scale, it doesn't matter as long as you don't have that 3 month.
Yeah. So it's impossible. Yeah, it's impossible. Where it's very possible even week 1 to earn a little something. And some people have like hit it out of the park if they've had a good week 1. And it keeps you coming back. People like leaderboards. I love this. Top 25 earning creators so far. And this has been a big thing where people are like, oh, it's just people Dan knew. The only and he said, this is from DWR. The only person I knew before starting Farcaster was Jesse Pollock, who's on this list. Something status as a service, creating new stars on a new social network, proof of work, something. And this is 6, Android 16, Keckers, Murtaza, Maz, I can't say the way his thing is, but Murtaza is his name. Garrett, Pugson, SDs, SwampNet, Everchicks, Ted, July, Jesse Pollock, Jihad, Moon Poppy, Drew Kaufman, Superanon, Zinger. Superanon's not even literally an anonymous account. Of multiple people. Zinger, Yasik, Samantha, Erica, Proxy Studio, Kaufman, and Matthew B. Kaufman, brand new. I'll get to that in a second. So that is very, very cool. That's really good to see. 6 is from the Nouns community and went by Onion. Nice. Oh, goes by Onion over on, no, he goes by something else now over on Twitter, but went by Onion. And then 6 is his Builder DAO token number. And that's where 6 came from. So there you go.
Very cool.
A little bit of lore for you all. Speaking of lore, Jimmy No Rules, who's fairly new, might be in the chat. If you're in there, say hi, Jimmy. All this time I've been here and I just now realized there's an evil twin version of DWR running around feels like I missed a major plot twist. Yes, for those who are newer, random era.eth, random arrow, depending on how you want to say it. It looks like Dan. It's not Dan. Please be careful.
Doesn't Ted have
Be careful out
well?
there. She did, but that one kind of just didn't take off. This one still pops up every once in a while, and it's pretty funny. So the other one the Ted one was a little mean, but random arrow is pretty funny. So yeah, if you didn't know, occasionally people have started arguing with random arrow, thinking it was Dan Romero, and including like a friend of his who he knows really well. I saw it happen once and I was dying, absolutely dying. And it was like, it kind of sounded like something like Dan would say, but a little snarkier, and they didn't pick up on it. And it was really funny. Okay, back to some Farcaster news from V. If you're running a Farcaster hub in production, i.e. would be really mad if it stopped working, could you please reply? We want to make sure we reach out and help you through the snap chain migration. So Hubs is moving to snap chain. This is a faster, better way for us, for a Farcaster to scale. So make sure if you're running a hub for Farcaster that you get updated to Snapchain. We don't want you to lose all your stuff because that would be bad.
The tab organization that you have going on up top here.
Oh my God.
Holy smokes. My computer would burn.
I had to get a computer. Oh no, I burned them. This is why I have a gaming laptop.
Wow.
I do not game.
Impressive.
But here's what happened. It came in really handy during Crypto the Game.
I'm sure.
When I realized, like, when I had to play some of those games, and I'm like, ooh, I didn't realize my gaming laptop was going to come in handy.
That's impressive. Yeah. I'm just watching
you.
Like, how has she got that many tabs open?
Oh yeah. No, and I have multiple like windows too. I had the Octant stuff in a separate window just for organizational purposes. This is my usual. This is the usual situation. Awesome. This is why we always go over 29 minutes. This from Base, introducing MiniKit, the easiest way to build mini apps. Build once, publish on Warpcast and Coinbase Wallet. Finding new users is that easy. And here's where you can get started. And if you're interested in building, there is a workshop today with Zoe who will help you. So go check this out. It's happening, I think, about an hour from now, I believe.
Nice.
So yeah, go jump in. If you want to build
the evolution of frames to
mini app.
And I think at some point we're just going to call them apps, right?
Maybe eventually, but we're going to call them mini apps for now because they're not standalone apps. It gets confusing because Warpcast is the app, and then the mini apps are inside the Warpcast, and then they're also going to be inside the Coinbase wallet, and it's all very confusing. And yeah, you missed the show where we talked about FAPs and FRAPs. No. So mini apps won, luckily.
Just don't go to the dictionary with any of these words. You don't want to do it.
We did. We did. We showed it. We made sure people are aware. Some people were not aware. They were not aware. They were not aware, Rachel. They were not aware. This is what I was talking about from Kaufman. This was fantastic to see. He's fairly new to the platform and is an independent journalist. After a month on Warpcast, I have decided to stick around and keep posting here. Here's why. 1, the community is politically diverse, civil, and curious. As a reporter, posting on X and Blue Sky can feel repressive in that both platforms are filled with people who want their biases flattered and take offense when their priors are challenged. Many of you here seem earnest, intellectually omnivorous, and willing to engage with viewpoints respectfully without assuming bad faith when opinions diverge or being performative. Also, I feel like you're not rewarded when you do that either. Like if you get really crazy or aggressive, it actually, people just go, I'm not in the mood for that. I can go to Twitter for that. Or I can go to Blue Sky for that. So I think there's like, that's probably the reason it just doesn't work as well.
And I was gonna bring that up earlier because I think just going back to X and paying for the privilege of posting, like my most viral, I'm not proud of this, but my most viral post was something derogatory that I said about a politician. I'm not telling you on which side. You can figure that out. but it went super viral. So I was rewarded, but I wasn't rewarded financially. I was rewarded with new followers for being negative. And that's generally not my vibe. But here that doesn't,
it doesn't play. It doesn't play.
Be constructive, be helpful, be supportive.
Yeah. It just doesn't play well. So I think that is a cultural thing that I really hope we can maintain. I'm a little nervous about that as we grow, and that's just a normal scaling issue. But I'm hoping that can stay, because I think it is valuable to be able to have, that used to be a norm, to have, people of other opposite opinions have, very respectful debates. Used to be a thing. Let's bring it back.
Adrienne brought that up at the event last week. She challenged and asked the audience, like, how do you feel when you hear the word social media? And it was all negative. And she reminded people that it used to be a place that we would come for, pleasant experiences.
Yeah. And discourse. Yeah. And intellectual discourse. Yeah.
Yep. And trustworthy news.
I know. Moving on to number 2, it feels like an older version of the internet. So to your point, maybe it's the cartoon avatars or the anonymity. Maybe it's the fact that so many of you work on stuff I couldn't begin to understand or how to code. This is again from Kaufman. But there's this pre-Facebook vibe that really is cool. That is really cool. It's even made me appreciate crypto's potential beyond scams and crimes. So happy to see that. I've seen that from a couple people who were very skeptical, and I appreciate that they took the time too. And then 3, friends, fun. I can't remember the last time I forged bonds with people I don't know IRL about things other than work. What can I say? I'm a loyal guy. So I love that. And then he went on to say, thanks to Murtaza for getting me involved, and to DWR and Ted for making something cool. So I was really glad to see this. And this also from Murtaza. I co-sign all of the below. I go back and forth about how I feel about crypto in general, but it's just a nice place to post. And unlike Twitter, it doesn't suppress my Substack links, another good thing if you're a writer, which I deeply appreciate. So I love seeing this. It was really, really cool. And yeah, I think that it gives you an opportunity to go back to an old version of the internet before it got overly, I don't know, monetized. I don't know what the word is, but also no advertising pop-ups, which is nice.
That is nice. Well, you don't have them when you're paying for premium on X, but still, you're paying for the privilege of not having your data used against you.
Yeah. But I do, even when I pay for premium on X, I still get ads within my feeds and within replies and things like that. So it depends on what category. I'm paying lowest premium, whatever that is.
I think I'm paying $25 a month. I have to.
That's why.
Because it's hot garbage. Let's be real.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Love this cast from Dan. If you're building a company that's strongly economically tied to Farcaster's success, mind replying here. And just looking through and seeing what people are building is really cool. You had, TLDR with Bracket and Rish with Nanar, and then of course us. Because we're slightly tied to
just a smidge
to Farcaster's success. No, hell no. No GM Twitter, no Blue Sky, no GM Facebook, no. So that's putting a lot of bets on this one. Ponder, D-Tech, really cool. Matthew Fox, who's building all kinds of fun stuff, including Clankermon. Please bring back Farcaster trivia, by the way, Matthew Fox. I say that all the time. Scout Game, just really cool. Atlas, so many cool things in here. So it was very cool to see. The Farconomy is growing. Where's my Farconomy hat? Hold on. It doesn't say Farconomy, but it says social economy. There we go.
Nice.
Okay, now I can put a hat on. Now I feel ready for the day.
I like it.
Okay, there we go. Love that. This from Aviation Doctor. In the same vein, I know today's pretty much been rah-rah Farcaster day, but I don't know. There's just good stuff happening. What can I do? One thing I enjoy about Farcaster is the large presence of people who build things. Half of the time, I don't understand what they're trying to build. Ditto. Don't get the vision or don't think there's any viable business case, but that hardly matters because basically you could say that all about GM Farcaster. Partly because I may be wrong in my assessment, and partly because the bigger picture is that these people have skin in the game. It's easy to partake in an online community of circle jerkers that engage in abstract philosophistry, drop vacuous platitudes, and vague post their way to strategic ambivalence. In fact, bots can do that faster and cheaper than humans, expanding milquetoast content to a singularity. At least builders put their money where their mouth is. That brings a degree of authenticity and grit to the network. Even if they are wrong, they'll remain true. And that's exactly why what attracted me here was like, there's people building cool stuff. Half of it I don't understand. You know, July is building the rock camera, which is going to, you know, be a way that you can like immediately take a photo, put it on chain, prove it, all this kind of stuff. Used to build flying cars. I mean, like, and he's just hanging out. It's like,
big brain is over here.
Insane big brains. So I want to be the dumbest person in the room. This is the room I want to be in for sure. Yep. And speaking of really cool things, this is from Euler, our friend Euler Lagrange. He was posting something from Twitter that says, just wait until we can share what the game plan is. And he was responding to Nader D-Bit. But here was what was really going on. Working alongside Justin Mazel and Alexis Ohanian on the new Dig. Find myself particularly focused on what I see as a defining challenge, a battle guard for authenticity. Put simply, how do we know who's real in the world of perfect AI mimicry? Right now, we don't. And without intervention, we're heading for a complete collapse of online credibility. I believe the next evolution of trust goes, I can't see the rest of it, but the bottom line was it's all about opacity. Opacity is working with the new Dig on creating the ZK framework for what's coming next. So very cool. Oops, it's not going to let me go back. But very cool. Very excited for what they're building in Opacity, and go check it out. It's all about ZK, zero knowledge proofs. So really solving some interesting problems and doing it very well, getting integrated into a whole bunch of different new projects. So very exciting. Congrats to our friends who are just doing cool things, who are building cool things. This from DWR, if you're looking for more breaking news in your feed, consider following Unusual Whales. I always followed Unusual Whales on Twitter, so I love that they're now casting it. So you should definitely follow them if you're not familiar with their content. Usually it's fintech related or crypto related stuff. Sometimes some political things, but usually related to that as well. So that is what they generally cast, post, etc., tweet. Good one to follow. If somebody makes a really big buy on something or sell on something, they usually are casting that as well. Okay, couple more things. I'm just trying to decide what to do first. I think I'm going to wait on that. This was really cute. I survived the great giblification of March 2025. This is a new frame from JC4P, our friend over there. Hi, testing a new open source repo for a simple mintable static image. It is 50 cents. I think it works. Let me know. We'll include GitHub repos in Nextcast. So that was the reason I was showing it, was you can mint your little NFT with your little t-shirt, but also if you are looking to create a frame, or rather a mini app that has this ability, here's the source for it, and open source. So there you go. Sharing along. Yeah, we can just mint things. And if you grab this t-shirt, I think I have to send some Giblify to people who mint this. This is what I should do. So I minted this. I thought it was funny. This was also funny. Everyone on here is so nice. It was like a copy pasta. And then I added, except that one guy. And
and instantly everyone knew who you meant.
Everyone had an idea of who, like, some people seriously are like, who is it?
Oh, come on.
Or like, oh, I know who you're talking about. And I'm like, I literally didn't have a person in mind. Do you think there's only one? First of all, do you think there's only one?
Oh, come on. There's only one of that level.
I really didn't. There's many. I really didn't have a particular person in mind, but it was really funny. the comments I got back were hilarious.
Of course it was him, Naomi said.
Of course it was him. Yeah, of course it was him. It is him. Yeah, there's like so many people, but I swear, like, I think a lot of people did have somebody who came into their mind when I casted that, but I was really just joking. I swear to God, I was just joking.
So
There's
funny.
definitely more than one. But it was really funny. So, sometimes we have fun on the timeline. Two more things. Oh, actually, one more thing. And then I just had that twice. FarCon. So voting closes in 6 days. I think it's 5 days now. Open to the entire Farcaster network. Go ahead and read these proposed topics and cast about your vote. This is all the topics for FarCon community lightning talks. So you've got Urban Dictionary for crypto, Great Artist Steal, Cultivating Communities, Lamb Chop by Lamb Chop. That would be definitely interesting. How on-chain unlocks a new value for content creators. Where do we go next to the Open Social Graph? DACC, Accelerating with Intention. User-owned IoT, why cars will be the next frontier for Web3 adoption. Your social graph, your data, your wallet, everyone's business, stretch, break, and shake, the death of content, building on Farcaster, a one-year tale of serving Farcaster companies by Samuel Huber, how to 10x Farconomy by unlocking new incentives. By the way, just stepping back for 1 second, anything by Samuel Huber is a yes for me, by the way. I just love hearing him think and talk and he just does cool stuff. How to 10x Farconomy by unlocking new incentives for users and communities. So that's talking about OpenRank. Also would be great. Your next favorite show could be On Chain by Anna Roth. Anna Roth is from the Nouns community, has been building a lot of CC0 animation. So very cool. Verifications are dead, long live verifications. The Little Top Hat That Could by Owl, Fear and Loathing in On-Chain Security. By the way, these titles are fantastic. I'm sure there may have been some AI assistance here and there. Customizable clients for every community. That's Willy Wonka from Nounspace. How to Do What You Love by Samantha. Samantha is from Humankind Candles. So she's a candle maker. She's done streams with it, and it's amazing to watch her create. A launch playbook for Farcaster mini apps by Chin Mei from Perks. That would be very cool. Building bridges, how regional Farcaster clients expand the ecosystem. Fries better than guys, how I turned a meme into a cultural IP. I love Jesse Fries. The Path to Victory, how FC outcompetes the Web3 social stack. Framing the future of social, how primitives like on-chain identity and frames are opening a new design space for social apps. Making mini apps go viral by Lamone of the Farville fame. Ship a network, not a product, by the way. I just realized I haven't checked on my crops. I didn't check my crops yesterday. Damn it. Damn it, my streak is gone again. Ship a Network, Not a Product by Jihad. Ship and Earn and Repeat, introducing automated builder rewards by Misido. Cross-Chain UX is a Lie by Marissa Posner. Building for Yourself a Secret to Sustainable Farcaster Project by Mark. Revenge of the Channels by Rabinowitz. Another JB, we love you. She does some really cool dev work. Therapy Caster by Ivy. Oh, very cool. Ivy has been using Ethernet as like someone to talk with a lot, and I've seen her experiment with that. So that's really interesting.
This was actually top of my list. I did my homework, Prof.
I'm gonna. Yes, I know. I'm gonna ask.
She was top of my list, but
that is very interesting. Okay, Decentralized AI needs a rebrand. Less idealism, more incentives by YB. Debug Your Meditation by Kristen. Very interesting. On-Chain, Off Meta, How to Stop Chasing and Start Believing by Debbie. That's Debbie Soon. And The Farcaster Flywheel by Phil. My experience launching products on Farcaster over 4 years of building. Wow. So what were some of your favorites? You mentioned Therapy Caster by Ivy.
Yeah,
that's one of yours.
First of all, I think the content, I only went to one FarCon. You can obviously speak to the one prior, but I think it wasn't hugely content heavy. I think they did a really good job of breaking it up and making, it wasn't just a talking heads event. But I always love to see just some creativity in the programming. So I thought Ivy's therapy cast was really interesting. And I think just observing how she's been interacting with
Adam. Yeah, very cool.
Ethernet or Ethernet?
Ethernet.
Yeah. And exploring therapy sessions and the limitations of an LLM and what it means for mental health. That's a biggie for me, because I think I've just been focused a lot on creator economy, but I think in that conversation we need to be talking about mental health and its impact on creators, just needing to be in all the places, doing all of the things, owning all of the, the funds that are out there. There is an impact on mental health. So I think that's important. And on that topic, I also loved Stretch, Break, and Shake with On Air and Higher FM. So shout out to Chick Bangs and Lori.
Chic Bangs. Love Chic Bangs. Where was that one?
8-minute movement reset with breathwork stretches and a collective shake, aka dance. We want to see that. We want to see broadcasters.
We've done that, and we've done that on here on GM Farcaster. We had Chic on for Mental Health Day, and we did a shake with her and the whole thing, and it was really cool. So yeah, it definitely, it's great.
I think May is actually Mental Health Awareness Month, so these two would be perfect. And then the other two that jumped out to me were where do we go next with open social graphs? Decentralized social graphs are a great idea. Want to discuss current mistakes and issues with social graphs.
Which one was? Oh, here it is. By Jacob?
Yes.
Where do we go next with social graphs?
What we should do to achieve meaningful scale. So how can we better use that social graph?
Very cool.
And then one other one. Go ahead. Sorry.
Nope. Go ahead. What was your other one?
Making mini apps go viral, and also on that topic as well.
With Lamone?
Yes. Yeah. And Shinmei's Farcaster mini apps launch playbook. So I think there's a lot of people playing with the tech, but how do we scale it? How do we get the first 100 users? How do we go? Where do we go next?
Where do we go? Yeah, I think that's both of those are great. I think I haven't done my voting yet, but I feel like you did a really good mix of okay, let's learn some things from the tech side, but let's have some fun and do some interactive kind of stuff, which I think is a good mix.
And I'm also coming at it as a tech adjacent person, not a techie. So I'm obviously going to have different opinions to kind of what resonates. So
no, I love your picks.
What would you say the audience is in terms of the attendees? Is it a pretty 50-50 mix of tech versus content
builders?
But how do you
builders? And that is some creators, writers, but a lot of devs, a lot on the tech side, a lot of entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much. But I would say across the board, I'm trying to think back. Besides a few investors, there's always some VCs and angels and floating around, paying attention. Mostly it's people who are building things or have an interest in building things. So they're either building something, they have built something, they want to build something. That's who it is. And you can define that in whatever way you want. Right. That can be media, that can be creator, that can be artists, but at the core of it is a lot of entrepreneurs. So
you define yourself as a builder or a creator.
Yeah, I am.
Which one?
Both. I'm both.
Yeah. I think we all are, right? So
I'm building, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm building a business, building a media network, but, and then I'm here doing the thing I'm building. So it's both. And I think for anyone building in Web3 media, it's both.
Yeah. Because
a lot of times you're doing something new, very new that no one's done before. So you have to build it. So, and I did notice on here was also Lucas from Pods was one of the ones that was on here as well. That was, where the heck was that one? OXL, here it is. How on-chain unlocks new value for content creators. So that's about, that's what they're doing with Pods and how direct ownership helps and those kind of things. I think there's also a creators conference that Humpty is doing. So that might be also covered there. But so if that's the areas that you're interested in as well, I'd suggest making sure you look into what Humpty's going to be doing the day of Builders Day. So Builders Day is tech focused. That's for devs. Think of that as a dev day, a hackathon, that kind of thing. And then what Humpty's doing at the same time is doing this very, creative take on that side of Builders Day. So I'd highly recommend, if you're not going to be hacking, if you're not a dev, check out what Humpty's doing on Thursday. House of Nouns is also doing something, but I'm confused on the timing. Because I saw something that said Thursday and then something that said Friday. So I'm not exactly sure what the final timing is on that, but that's another thing. So there's going to be other things happening during that week. So look for that, especially if you didn't get a ticket to the summit, you didn't get a ticket to Builders Day, you're interested in being a part of what's going on. Definitely check out some of these other side events. I think it's going to be really fun. But I'm really excited. Super excited.
Are you coming in for a full week? Are we going to have you in New York for a week?
You're going to have me from Wednesday to Sunday. I'm getting in Wednesday morning, and then we're going to do karaoke Wednesday night. I have not posted this yet, but there will be a side event. We're booking a little private room at a place in Williamsburg, and I'll be reaching out. If you are one of our hyper sub, you will be invited to attend this craziness. So we hope you will join us, like 7 to 9 on Wednesday. And then Thursday, I'll be over at Builders Day, as well as Creators Day, as well as possibly House of Nouns, jumping around, plus doing load in with Emma over at for the summit. Friday's the summit. GM Farcaster is the media partner. We'll be up in the little mezzanine overlooking the floor and doing some podcasting up there and interviews and things like that. Also on Friday morning, on the day of the summit, if you are one of our hyper sub holders, there's going to be a little something special in the morning. So more info coming soon. And then Saturday and Sunday, there's a whole bunch of other side events happening, but I think they're all still being finalized. Friday evening, there's also something that's hasn't quite been announced, but there will be like an after party happening Friday evening. So there's a lot going on. I think also Boys Club is doing their Net Gala Friday night. So there's a lot happening. It just happened to overlap and be the same week.
Wow.
Craziness. So there's a lot going on. I'm excited. You're going to be there. It's going to be fun.
I'm already here.
You're already there.
I know. And I love May in New York City. It's my birthday month and the weather is gorgeous. So
I really hope it's going to be great weather, because I cannot deal with anything bad.
It'll be beauteous.
I need good weather.
It was a Broadway show.
I wanted to go see Glenn Ross too. I was looking to see if I could fit that in somewhere. But I don't know if I can figure it out. You should definitely hit Broadway. Yes to Crypto. I think that was a good choice. No worries.
Been so long, and it's literally like it's right here.
I know.
It's one of those.
I did see that Bill Burr is in Glenn Ross, and I was like, oh, that sounds very interesting. Like, it sounded like a really interesting cast, and I'm like, it sounded like a funny cast and a really good cast, and I was like, oh, that might be fun. Harry Potter, that'll be good. Harry Potter on Broadway, I'm sure will be good. I haven't been to Broadway since I went to see Hamilton, like 2019, maybe something like that. I can't remember when it was. Hamilton, and we also saw Aladdin. Anyway, good millionaires. We've been trying to make a few. So we're sending out some more good to our chatters today. I think I forgot to do it the other day, so I'll have to do that for Monday as well. Behind. So I will get that done. Also, though, if you're collecting on pods, you can get rewarded 100,000 good token for collecting on pods. So make sure you claim your rewards. And this is part of the Good News Studio. And I wanted to give you a chance to kind of talk about what you have been up to with Good News Studio and what's going on. So tell us all about it. What is this? What is the new podcast you're dropping?
This is the podcast that's been announced that it's launching every week, and then we keep putting it back. But it is coming. We've actually been developing this show, and it's gone through a few iterations and name changes because essentially, for those who don't know, I've been doing the Good News Show on X, on the app of which we don't talk about.
Twitter.
On Twitter. Since 2022, since November 2022. And sorry, the comments are very distracting.
I know. They're funny.
Symbiotech says bad news April. Yeah. So doing the Good News Show as a Twitter space, at one point we were every day of the week. Then we went down to 3 days a week. Now we're just 1 day a week, thank God. And we,
for those who don't know, why did you launch the Good News Show, or when helps the why?
Yeah, the when helps the why. So I have been doing Women in Web3 spaces since 2021 on X, and one of the challenges that came with that was obviously men didn't really come through. I think the only dude that we had was Matt Hickson, and recognized that we needed allyship to be able to move the needle. And so it was November 2022, and the FTX crisis had just happened, and a lot of friends were losing money and leaving the space, and the timeline was dog turd. So I had texted Maya Drazen, and
it was miserable. Yeah,
it was awful.
And by that was 1,200 ETH. Look how far we've come.
It was bad. It was bad. And I was like, screw this. I'm going back to Instagram. I'm like, I'm not creating content on this app. It's depressing. And then I asked Maya from Time, I said, I'm thinking about starting a weekly show, and just calling it the Good News Show. Is it too cheesy? And she just wrote, do it. And I went, okay, fine. And then that was kind of
good news on Twitter. That's not what the platform is.
I know.
Exactly.
I dropped a very cringe April Fool yesterday, and I don't care. It was the bad news.
For those who missed it, I had it ready to go. Hold on. Let's pause there for a moment. Big announcement. This was yesterday. I got sick of all the April News stuff. Launching a new show this week, the Bad News Show. If you're a chronic complainer, expert fudder, a world-class finger pointer, this one's for you. Join us for 2 full hours of uninterrupted complaining, projects that wronged you, free things that weren't free enough, why the world is doomed, and how only you have the answers. Everyone else is turd face.
Well, it came up
now. No optimism allowed.
The reason that this came to mind was it was actually a tweet that Board Elon had shared this week about not taking critique from Symbiotech says it would do numbers. Brock said the same thing.
It would do numbers,
Not taking critique from somebody who, is a 20-year-old that lives in their mom's basement that's never run a business in their life. Like, don't take no offense to 20-year-olds who live in their mom's basement, but like, don't be telling this Board Elon seasoned founder how to run his business. So it kind of came from that. And also the idea of like, people will complain about a free sandwich. Like
they do.
Yeah.
They do all the time.
Look at the full.
Every time they get an airdrop, they complain about it. It wasn't enough. Why did this person get more? Why did I get less? All the time.
It's kind of like the evolution of the no good deed goes unpunished.
Sorry, Brock. She didn't mean you. Don't attack me as a 20-year-old.
But yeah, so that's where that tangent came from. But yeah, we started the Good News Show 2022, kept going through bulls, bears, all of the things, whether we had 1,000 people in the space or 5 people in the space, we've just kind of been, I like to think, kind of an anchor for people to start their week off with, some positivity.
Yeah.
And also just to know who's building with, who's contributing to the space, not extracting, who's, building mindfully.
Yeah.
I'm building.
Like focus on the good stuff that is happening and what people are building, not just what,
And there's plenty of
not
it.
Just,
You kind of have a similar vibe here. There's plenty of good people building good things. So
yeah, exactly.
The podcast is, more just trying to get out of the vacuum of Web3 and not speaking to the same people. Obviously, we want to be of service to people here, but the podcast is really an attempt to reach out of our sphere of influence here and maybe go a little bit more mainstream, but without scaring people away. So essentially, we're tackling kind of the intersection of how tech impacts different areas like fashion, like art, like manufacturing, like mindfulness, and talking to experts in those fields that are embracing emerging tech, but trying to bring it to people in a language that's, palatable.
Friendly. Yeah. I love that.
We have Keith Grossman to talk about money. Obviously,
awesome.
We'll Miss Maya talking about media.
Awesome.
We have the Chopra Foundation team talking about wellness and mindfulness.
Fantastic.
I could go on. There's a lot of really cool people. Alice from Psyche. So,
are you doing these as live streams or these podcasts that are recorded and fancy and all that?
So this is kind of a good conversation because I think it's right now we're still at that intersection where we could go fully on chain and do everything on chain, but then we don't really reach the people that we need to reach, right? So we are going to do on chain. We're going to be minting on pods. We're going to potentially also live stream via Abstract because we are set up for live streaming.
Yeah, so I haven't started doing that yet. It took a while to get set up, and I'm like, I still need to actually, like, it took a while to get approved, and then I kind of was like, got busy with other things, but I need to do that as well. Yeah.
Plus, we're kind of base maxis. Like, we like base. Like, it's tough because if there was a way to live stream, hint builders, devs do something. If there was a way to live stream and have the kind of reward mechanism that's built in with Abstract right now, then we would just go fully in
on base.
Yeah,
for sure.
But it will be in the usual places: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of the above, and then we may also, I don't know, we'll put it wherever we can. But it's a lot of work to do that.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. How, yes to Crypto asks, how can we help Good News? So so first of all, you can follow the Good News channel. So /Good News on Warpcast and see all the things they're doing. They do have a token, $good. Do you have a hypersub or anything along those lines that people can support?
We're working on it. I will tell you, let's just put this out to the universe because we don't talk about money enough, but we are looking for a season 1 sponsor. That's kind of why we stalled it a little bit. So we have 10 episodes ready to go, and we have a couple of conversations going, but as you know, people want to see data first. We can certainly show data of 2 years of programming that we have done, but we cannot show data on this podcast just yet. I will say, but where's your hypersub? I'll get there. It's like the media kit, all right? We've been procrastinating a little, but yeah, we will get there.
I think I will say that I appreciate our hypersub folks so much, and we're constantly trying to find other ways to reward them. And things happen and come up, and we'll just, shoot them some, random Giblify token. Hopefully you guys sold it immediately. And also we share the mints to our pods.media mints, and then give special access for events. But it's really about that people want to support you and find a way to do that in a way that's, a lot of people prefer a crypto native way. So hypersub is great for that. Just give people an easy way to help you. When Adrian and I went through that, like talking about like how to price it, all those kinds of things, like for the one where we're sending out all of our NFTs, that wow level, we thought about like, okay, we still want to keep it reasonable, but we have to cover any costs that, come out of that. And then we had this other one that's like really like, a cup of coffee a month was the idea of like, something that's really super cheap, but that anyone could support, that would be, available for anybody. And then we have some amazing supporters who like signed up for, first they did a year, and that scared me. And then they did like 5 years, and that like blew my mind, because that's a lot of like
trust.
Pressure.
And trust. It's a lot of trust. But that speaks volumes.
But you know what? It's that kind of support from community really drives you. It really drives you. It fuels my desire to keep going on days when it's like a little bit hard. And finding sponsors to really support takes time. It really does. Like we have different ones that come and go because their needs change, they're shifting their focus, whatever it is. And Farcaster doesn't make sense anymore for them to put, resources into or whatever. And then they'll probably circle back later. But then we have new ones that pop in and are like, hey, like Octant, we're looking to expand that audience. How do, we think you can help? And it's just a matter of finding them, but it also just takes time to have those conversations, figure things out, see what makes sense. So yeah. So in between having like something easy, just make sure you allow people to max sub.
Yeah, I will say as well, one of the things like that's challenging is being like a one person band. Like I feel like one of those people that has like the the whole one band thing, because I'm managing all this and making sure you can deliver for these people that are putting their trust in you is like that's the challenging part. So I'm really fortunate that I have a great collaborator in Brock, in many other things. So I have dev support, but there's it's a lift to create content regularly, consistently.
It's a lift,
but we do it because it
and there's
matters.
many things that we haven't got done just because of time that we want to do. Like we need more clips. We need more. We have a shop that still hasn't opened. That's like ready to go, except I need to integrate a couple things. Like exactly. Like little things like that where it's like it's almost there, but it's like a couple more things and I want to make it perfect and all that stuff. And it just but if I didn't have Adrienne, like I'd be screwed because she like you have no idea. Like I may do a lot of the yapping, but she's like the one keeping me grounded and like helping with the business side more than anyone could possibly know. So like that was a total I would say luck, but I think it was the universe putting us together because like
it's tough.
I
wanted to say one more thing on Good News if I can. And I think it's kind of like just we're following very similar trajectories in the sense that like the realization of how important it is to see people in person. Like I ran an events business for 10 years, like that, up until COVID, we had 8,000 vendors over 10 years. Like that events is it's what lights me up. And so just getting back out there and like actually organizing and having people come out to events. Like we did our first one in Paris for Good News Studio, just around NFT Paris. And it's just, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like getting to hug people in real life and just deepening those relationships or
sing karaoke with them, things like
that. Yeah.
Like, it's just giving people a chance to get together too. And it's like your community. Like, I love it when people who are in our chat or who have met on Farcaster, but haven't met in person. And that happened a couple times at the karaoke brunch where they were like, do you know so-and-so? I just want to see who, and I'm like, yeah, they're here. Go, I'm introducing them. And like that to me was so much fun, and giving people that opportunity to connect is special. Yeah, it's really special. So if you have, so Farcaster Fridays, we're trying to do that every Friday. There are like in-person events all over the world. So check out the Farcaster Fridays channel. Ask a question in there. Just even say like, hey, is anybody in New York City? Is anybody in wherever you're going to be? Is there anything going on? Because there might be somebody right down the road and they'd love to meet up, even if it's just, I've seen some where it's been 2 people. Like that's been the whole meetup, and that's fine. And then for a URL version, we'll be here playing poker. But there's lots of, I think that it's a great point of like that IRL, nothing beats it. Doesn't mean you have to spend $1 zillion and go other side of the world. There might be somebody really close by who would also love to meet up and just talk about,
Well, I'll give you
about the things.
I'll give you a small bit of alpha then on that topic.
Oh, cool.
We have a partnership brewing with the gallery that we just did our first meetup at last week. So
great. That looked amazing too. I forgot to pull that up because we talked about it last week with Adrienne, and it looked
We did our base meetup and we had the lovely Adrienne as a speaker, but we're going to probably be doing like monthly, if not bi-weekly programming at the gallery. So I don't know what that looks like, but any way we can support you, Farcaster, GM Farcaster builders, we will have the space to do it. So
I love it. I love that. I think that is fantastic. I think that's a great opportunity. I would connect with some of the other folks who are in New York who do some Farcaster events they'd love to support or, help put something together. So I love that. That's great.
It's called the Time to Be Happy Gallery, and we're the Good News Show.
It looked amazing. I loved it. There's one in Miami that I think is similar.
It's him.
That has the same guy.
He just basically shut down Miami and built it in New York.
Oh my God, I love it because it was really cool because you had like the digital things inside these clocks, and it was just a really cool space.
So he's a video
cool.
artist. His name is Benzie, and what he does is he takes old timepieces. Of course, I'm like, can we get timepieces inside of timepieces?
Can we get timepieces inside of timepieces? For those who don't know, Timepieces is Time Magazine's NFT project. That's how we met. It was through that. So
how cool would that be, though? But no, he takes his own
cool.
digital art and he puts it inside these like old clocking in machines, and they're beautiful, like really beautiful. So
I cannot find. I'm trying to find the picture from the gallery from last week, and I can't remember who posted it, and I'm blanking out. Was it Zach? It was one of the Zachs. Yeah. Let me see if I can find it.
Which, by the way, he is lovely, and another person that I've just had in like DMs and chats, and it's just nice to
meet in person.
Names.
Yeah, it changes everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he asked about us being if Adrian and Nanish Prof were Thelma and Louise, who would be who? I'm like, well, they both go over the
over the cliff.
Like, I don't know about that. And then Adrian commented back, but who will be Brad Pitt? And I was like, oh, I have thoughts.
Prof, do share.
No, but I have thoughts. I'm looking for the one. Here it is. This is what I'm looking for. This was the pictures from the gallery, from the meetup. It looked amazing. You had, oops, let me go over here. Yeah, Adrian was there talking about Farcaster, and you had some artists there, and you had some folks for Women's History Month, and it just looked amazing. So I love the clocks in the background.
It was wonderful, cool. And I hope we can build on it and just kind of be a hub / resource for people who are new to this ecosystem. So
yeah, you can just meet up in person. It's true.
Go figure.
You can just do things. You can just meet up in person. It's great. I love that. So I look forward to seeing more things that you're doing at that gallery. Let us know. We'll happy to promote. Can't wait for the new pod to drop.
Boop, boop.
Let's do it. I can't wait to hear it. Thank you so much for co-hosting today.
Thanks for having me.
Anything else that we may have missed?
I don't think so. I think that's it. Just share the good news.
Share the good news. So make sure you're following make sure you're following Good News Show over on Warpcast. Follow the channel, follow Rachel W on Warpcast. Also, again, for those who missed it in the beginning, welcome. Why did I have a capital S there? That's silly. Welcome, Premier Partner Octant, to the GM Farcaster family. We're very excited about that. As I mentioned earlier, we were sponsoring some mints for the Octant mint that's currently happening. Let me just double check and see where that's at. But we'll be also doing a giveaway to some folks who are in our chat today. I'll be giving away, I have 3 of these sitting in my wallet. So we'll be giving some away to some folks. And there's a whole game that's involved in this that'll be happening once all the mint has happened. So once it's all gone. Looks like the mints are still available. So go check them out. That means it'll be free. Gas is covered by us for a few of these. So go grab them while you can. And we'll also be sending out a few to some folks in our chat today. So thank you for hanging with us today in the chat. I see you, Bert Worst. We do have a dog in the chat. Dogs are allowed. Dogs are allowed.
I was hoping I could get Frankie on, but he's disappeared somewhere.
He's not interested. Yeah, mine left right before. He had appointments and he had places to be. He's very busy. And with that, everyone, this has been so fun. Wait, you got him? Hold on.
Carrying.
Jen's
this is Frank of America.
Guest appearance by Frank.
Frank has his own coin.
Frank is amazing.
Not financial advice.
Not financial advice at all.
I mean, would you take financial advice from this face?
I mean, why not? Could it be any worse than financial advice from anyone else? We got to get a close up of him. It's adorable. Oh, Frank, thank you for joining us today, Frank.
GM Farcaster famous.
Yes, you're GM Farcaster famous. And look, Bert Wurst is very excited to meet you. Bert is our resident puppy on the timeline, and he says hello. And with that, everybody, I mean, we can't get better than that. With that, everyone, that's it for us. We will see you. No show on Friday. We will be doing Farcaster Fridays Poker. So we'll be talking about Farcaster news during that game. You'll be able to watch it here at 7 p.m. Eastern. And Adrian and I will be back next Monday. And that is it, everybody. Thanks so much. And bye-bye.